If you're watching this, reaction videos have finally killed me. Hello? Hello? It's me. No, I'm up here. Hello? No, I'm not in the... That's me. I know that's me on the main screen, but I'm in the box. I'm up the top. Can you see me? I'm up. Hello? There you go. Well done. You did it. Hey, I'm up here in the box. And actually, that means I'm doing a reaction video. Wait, who am I reacting to? Reaction videos are everywhere on YouTube. From people reacting to music, movies, memes, even other content creators. Reaction videos seem to be a huge part of the internet culture today. But what makes them so popular, and is it really okay to use someone else's content to make your own? Let's go. Welcome, my stars of Orion. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Orion Kelly, that autistic guy. I'm all about providing validation and support for autistic people and their loved ones. We want to talk about reaction videos, a topic that's not just about reaction videos, but through the lens of how they can impact autistic people. See, content creators can be neurodivergent. So just to say it doesn't matter how reaction videos impact autistic people if they're content creators, fails to actually see that not all content creators are neurotypical. Not all content creators are the same. Autistic people have a medically diagnosed neurodevelopmental disability, yet still have to face sometimes the good stuff and sometimes the bad stuff that comes with their content being used for reaction videos. So let's start with the basics. What is a reaction video? Reaction videos feature a person, sometimes a group of people, reacting to some form of media. So like I said, it could be a song, video clip, a movie, other people's content. And the reactor in the video shares their thoughts, their emotions, and sometimes they critique in real time the content they're watching. So some would call this entertainment, some would call this commentary, some would call this a blend of all the above. I would call it theft, modern day theft. So reaction videos have a very simple format, right? A reactor is usually in that small little box next to the original media they're reacting to. But is there more to it than just someone watching someone else do something? Reaction videos can be argued as things that let audiences in, let communities in to share things like emotions, perspectives, critiques, feelings, thoughts, providing something that could be classed as relatable and entertaining. This video is about, number one, how they can be done legally and morally, and actually providing a better guideline to content creators who wish to react to neurodivergent content creators, so they can look at it in a more ethical, moral way than just, well, it's the law or whatever, and also thinking about what you're actually doing. Just to be clear, and I know I say this a lot, but I want to say it in addition to me saying it, but neither me, as in me in the box, nor me, as in me down there, are lawyers, nor are we providing you with legal advice, okay? This is just me down there, not me up here, me down there having a rant, basically. But I hope you're enjoying it. I certainly am if I can react to my own stuff. It's been bloody fantastic so far. So that's the key of this video, but we'll just quickly go through what I reckon is popular. And here's an idea. I could spend, this is actually what I do, I could spend an entire week crafting one video, from thinking of it out of my own mind, to scripting it, to recording it, editing it, producing it up, all the other bells and whistles, to uploading it, then to then sharing it on the platforms. Okay, it could be an entire week of hard work to get one 10 to 15 minute video on a topic where I'm not reacting, I'm not using other people's content, I'm providing you with a topic that may be relevant to you as a neurodivergent person, or a person who has a neurodivergent person in their life, providing you with something that can help you, can support you, can validate you. what the algorithm is telling me at the moment is, Orion, the community don't want your videos where you spend hard time crafting something that's topic based so they can learn something new to support and validate themselves or other people around them. They don't want that. They want you to spend 20 to 30 minutes just looking at other people's memes and laughing, or pulling apart another content creator's content they've put hard work into. To me, that's what the YouTube community, the algorithm, and potentially, you guys are telling me. Now, the issue with that is that's not really my thing. It just isn't. And people always go, oh, but it's such great publicity. What, for who? So if my channel's more successful with subscribers and engagement, and this other channel is using my content and it's not really in any way helpful and it impacts my mental health, how is that them doing anything but exploiting me and the work I've done? It's strong personalities, unique insights, reacting to things. That's what people say. Really? Because if these content creators who produced reaction videos actually had strong personalities and unique insights, they wouldn't need the help of other content creators' work to bring out that unique personality, right? Now stand by for a Rango reference, because this is where things get complicated. Cactus juice. That's all we got. Not as much as I'm missing your daddy's cooking. So reaction videos use clips, yeah? They use clips from other things, movies, shows, content creators, blah, 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 whatever, songs, whatever. Now, this brings up some legal issues, copyright issues. And for YouTube, it can trigger the copyright policies of YouTube, for example. Now, under US law, which is where YouTube tend to live, and in many other countries, there's something called the fair use doctrine. Now, basically, this law allows people to use copyrighted material in limited ways, especially for purposes like commentary, criticism, news reporting, or education. So in theory, reaction videos could fall under the fair use banner because they provide commentary on the content. However, fair use is a grey area. It depends on factors like the amount of the content used. People ask me all the time, oh, what is it? So how much of your content did they use, or how much of that person's content are you planning on using? Are you adding new meaning? And will it affect the market for the original work? This is a really important one. We'll go through these. I'm going to break them down for you. So we've got the factors that can determine fair use, the purpose and character of the use. Is it transformative or commercial? The nature of the copyrighted work, factual, fictional. Amount of the material used. Is it the entire video or just a clip? And the effect on the market. Does it harm the original content creator's profits? See, that's where people go, good publicity, any publicity. No. Have you heard of a thing? People, you have heard of, the idea of defamation and slander and stuff, right? So the argument that you using mine or someone else's content is just good publicity doesn't fly if the overall feedback that you have created from reacting to someone else's video is in the comments saying, I'm going to unsubscribe to that person now, or I agree, I don't think that person's very good anymore, right? Or I agree, that's unacceptable or wrong, or the pitchforks come out, right? The angry mob. And then if you lose subscribers and good faith and community, that isn't good publicity. That harms the original content creator's profile and profits and goodwill. So let me pull apart each factor just slightly broader for you. Okay, we'll talk about purpose and character of the use. Okay, so the first factor asks, and this is obviously all in general terms. I'm not a lawyer. I'm not giving you legal advice. You cannot use this video as a way of creating the perfect reaction video and bypassing any issues. This is just me having a conversation on what I know about it to tell you my opinion on the whole idea of reaction videos. In many ways, it's my critique of reaction videos. It just happens to be pretty bloody helpful to get a general idea and understanding of how the world of reaction videos work. But nothing I say can help you in a court of law, and it's not legal advice. It's just my thoughts. So, first factor. What's the purpose of the content? Does it change it, or does it transform the original work in a meaningful way? So courts tend to look more favorably on reaction videos that are transformative rather than like merely reproductive. If the reaction video adds new meaning, insights, commentary, or criticism to the original work, it may be considered transformative. So the transformation can be seen as like adding some sort of value, social value, educational value, cultural value, whatever it is that you think that particular video is kind of pitching to. What's an example? Okay, so there's a video, let's say a video reacting to a trailer by analyzing the film's potential themes, maybe discussing expectations, that could be considered transformative. But if you just merely show the full trailer or a full episode with minimal comments, just like, oh, what? Huh? It's less likely to qualify. Factor 2, nature of the copyrighted work. Again, general discussion. This is not going to help you in a court of law in your country. This is just a general discussion on how they're viewed, how they're looked at. Factor number 2, nature of the copyrighted work. So the second factor considers the nature of the original work. Is it factual or is it highly creative? So courts will usually provide more leniency when the original work is factual rather than fictional, although reaction videos typically deal with creative works like movies and music and that kind of stuff. Factual versus creative. So creative, movies, songs, fictional TV shows, they tend to get more protection because they are seen as more artistically original. In contrast, factual reports, like news reports, get less protection under fair use. Now, I find this staggering, by the way. So people always say art's subjective and everyone views art differently, right? Therefore, there's endless opinions on art. There's endless commentary and criticisms to be made on art because it's art. And therefore, it should be far more open and free for people to do just that because it's art. Provide subjective thoughts, opinions, critiques, commentary. So you go, oh, but what about news? Okay, but if you're an autistic content creator and you make factual-based, educational-based content, what you're being told is that is less valuable to us to protect from other people stealing it than a content creator who just completely fictionalizes a topic, a content, area, or just completely goes, just hit my own microphone, just completely goes down the creative, made-up route. That makes no sense to me. So I can work my ass off to formulate a fantastic video that's informative and educational and factual and through lived experience. And then it's fair game for anyone to take and use and, do what they want to do with it. But if I sat there for 10 minutes and just made up a story, it's more protected. Yeah, it's a strange situation to me. So from a point of view of an autistic content creator who tries to remain educational and factual, we're actually, the least protected. And then another autistic content creator can come along and use our factual stuff and create what you would class more as creative art, right? And be protected. The other factor is amount and substantiality of the portion used. The big question, the factor about how much of the original content is used in the reaction video. So are you using a short clip to illustrate your point, as in, look at this clip, right? And then you come back and you talk about it. Or are you showing large chunks? What would large chunks be? Again, I'm not giving you advice, just my general thoughts. I would have thought they'd be, larger, unedited sections. As a rule, courts will tend to look at both the amount and the heart of the work used. So even a small portion can actually violate fair use if it includes the essence or the most memorable part of the work. Strategic editing is another part of this factor. So good reaction videos often incorporate strategic editing, only showing short clips or providing commentary over the video to avoid showing too much of the original work. This whole thing's such a joke to me, by the way. Like someone could literally have their head in a box at the top of the screen and sit there for 10, 20, 30, sometimes 60 minutes, and the large portion of the screen is someone else's content, and they'll pause it and talk and pause it and talk and pause it, and somehow this is legitimate content. I mean, I get that it's content if someone's watching it, but is it legitimate? Actually, I kind of got to admit that it's pretty fun being the guy in the box at the top of the screen, just kind of watching and doing very little. Bugger all, in fact. It's actually quite enjoyable. I may turn to stealing other people's content and just sitting here in a box at the top of the screen. No, I'm just going to keep doing original content. It's still fun, though. It's definitely fun. It just blows my mind. So amount and substantiality, this is a big one. I found, in my experience, a lot of people, they might get a short, but a lot of people go to your long form videos and actually do play quite long chunks. And then it's like, no one actually asks for your opinion on these long chunks of another person's experience in life. And even if you wanted to provide an opinion, then make your own video. Do your own video on that topic. That's the other thing. If you like a topic another content creator does, create a video on that topic. Don't use that video of the other content creator who worked their ass off to do most of the work for you. This is why I see them nothing more than lazy thieves with little to no personality or ability to create anything original. Just my opinion in general terms. Final factor, the effect on the market or the value of the original work. Do not underestimate this. And let me tell you, many people love the idea of reaction videos, and done right, they can be great. This is a conversation about how right is done in the neurodivergent world, okay? So if you have an autistic content creator and they're building a community of neurodivergent people and they're using their life experiences, they're basically pouring out their own heart and soul and their experiences in addition to, education and information to try and make an impact in the world, to kind of improve their own lives and the lives of the neurodivergent people around them. That's going to be a really hard road to succeed at, because if it was easy, we wouldn't need to advocate. If we were popular and people liked us and were drawn to us and gave us time and chance, we wouldn't need to advocate for ourselves. So the idea of building an audience, building subscribers, building engagement, building a community is actually like, honestly, like catching a star. It's magic. It's virtually impossible to do. It can take years, right? Now, if you do that, and then someone decides that they want to use one of your videos to react on, and they don't do it in the right way or for the right reasons, it is absolutely going to affect their market. It's absolutely going to affect the value of that original work. So if you're out there and thinking, let's react to an autistic person's video, have a think about this. Even if you think you can fight a copyright strike through fair use, think very carefully before you do the video and post it. Do you think you could fight the defamation claim? Because you can't take that back. So before you go to make a video on another autistic content creator, think very clearly and very carefully. Even if it's after it's done and you're editing it, before you upload it. In hindsight, in watching this, have I actually gone from trying to provide commentary or you steal someone's content, have I gone from that to actually lowering the view of this person in the eyes of others? Am I lowering the kind of reputation or the good faith in this person in the eyes of others watching this? Am I actually affecting them? I'm going, hang on a second, actually, no, watch this. I feel like people are going to take this the wrong way, or I think people are going to take this in a bad way, or make it. Does it sound like I'm angry at this person, or I'm saying this person's wrong, or this person did the wrong thing, or this person isn't good? Could that be construed? Do people think that? Because if that's coming up, don't hit publish, mate. Don't hit publish. What is the point? Forget about the idea that you don't have the time and money to fight a defamation case. Forget about that. Just think about, you're a human, they're a human. What will it do to them? What will it do to you? That's the key issue here. But if you want to get technical about it, the effect on the market, the effect on the value of the original work. This is big. What's the potential economic impact on the original content creator? And it doesn't have to be on the video you've ripped off. It could be on their channel, their entire community they've built. This is not about me. I'm legitimately doing this because I feel like hopefully I can reach enough people that people can understand that, yes, just like we are different in all other walks of life, neurodivergent people, autistic people are also different in how they can handle the world of content creation. We are allowed to make content, be called content creators, and still have a medically diagnosed disability. right? It's not, oh, well, fair game, mate, fair game. What do you mean fair game? You see what I'm saying? No, that's not right. So are you adding value without undermining the market? Great. Can you answer that question? At the end of your video, before you upload it, have I added value to this piece of content and made it my own without undermining the value or affecting the market negatively on the person's content I've stolen? Am I? Because if you can't answer in the positive, yes, I am, then you shouldn't be hitting publish. Let's put it like this. If you do a reaction video, now you might have not willingly, even unwillingly, but the result of it, before you hit upload and you're watching it, in most people's eyes will make it virtually impossible for viewers to want to go and watch that bit of work or any of their work again. You've affected their market impact because there's no need to go and watch the original video now. You've just stolen it and used it all and there's nothing else to do. Or the way you've done it, after watching the reaction video, they've gone, I don't ever want to watch that original video content creator ever again. That's not acceptable. So people go, good publicity, Orion. Yeah, okay, cool. Sometimes reaction videos can even benefit the original work, right? It actually increases interest. It drives new viewers and engagement to the channel. All right, so that works. Indirect promotion, people always go, it's all good. No, that's not true. Indirect promotion cannot be used as an argument as purely beneficial. Okay, again, if you have taken someone else's content and put it on your channel, you are one way or another rebroadcasting it, promoting it, right? And the indirect results of that promotion can be anything, can be unlimited. New people might find the original person. People who follow the original person might hear your opinion and the context of how you've done it and change their opinion of the original content creator. Or worse, your community might start pitchforks and angry mob style comments in your comment section on the original content creator. I hate that no one factors this in. I hate that. It really agitates me. And obviously the safest approach is to use, only very small clips. Make sure you are adding unique commentary every time you talk. And you're not just substituting the original material. You can't just laugh, hiss, cry, cough. That's not unique commentary. Reaction videos need to follow those principles. The question, is it fair to profit off someone else's content in this way? Is that fair? Is that ethical? Is that morally fair? Is that right? How do you feel about that? The irony that people are arguing that someone who takes someone else's content who somehow isn't protected and uses it should be protected because it's transformative. Like, well, you can't transform what didn't exist. Anyway. So yeah, some reaction videos are bloody fantastic. They've got great commentary, great humor, great insights. Cool, no worries. And a lot of people like to be used in reaction videos because they feel like it makes them bigger or more famous or whatever. What about the question of fairness? Original content creators are spending many, many days, hours, weeks, sometimes months. A reactor, it takes hours max. You're just responding to it and potentially making some money. And then there's beyond legality, the moral question. Is it right to use someone else's work? So you can profit from it, you can make money if either you're not altering it or just in general. Is it right? Is it right as a content creator to call yourself a content creator by making content that is basically reacting to other people's content? I have seen videos that are a content creator reacting to a content creator reacting to a content creator, meaning the only original content creator was the very last one in the chain. So the original content creator made original content, and then someone came in and said, I'll give that crap. That's reacting. And then someone came in and said, I might crap on both of them. And next thing you know, we've got 3 people involved using only one person's original work. But for the original work, there is no video here. So yes, you can make the argument. Okay, they added value. They provided new insights and commentary. Okay, great. But now that's the legal arguments, guys. I'm talking ethical and moral here. So the ethical moral question has to be, okay, but are you comfortable with that? Because remember, And I actually did this. Like sometimes, people might go, oh, yeah, well, do what you say, mate. I did. I did reaction videos to Love on the Spectrum for a couple of years. And then the show was just so horrific and bad for the community, I stopped doing it. But go look them up. They're still online. Not a second of the footage. Not a second. So I'd watch the show. I'd take notes. And then I filmed me on camera creating the entire content. The entire Love on the Spectrum videos, reviews, reactions, what do you want to call them, were me generating content out of my head and talking to a camera. So only whatever I could think of. No clips. That would have been sexy, yeah? No clips. Nothing. People make the argument too, but these content creators did do the right thing. They mentioned your name, right? They only used a short clip. Okay, cool. But how long did your video go for? 30 minutes. Sorry, what? Yeah, my video went for 30 minutes. Okay, hang on a second. So you're saying you did a 30-minute reaction video and you only based it on the original work of a short clip? Yes, that doesn't sound proportionate to me. Now, autistic people, I'm sorry, guys. I'm not your fairy godmother. You can change the world if you want. Great. But you have a medically diagnosed neurodevelopmental disability. You will not experience the world the same as others. Yes, you can be a content creator. Yes, you can be successful. Yes, people are going to do reaction videos to you. Some are going to be good, some are going to be bad. I suggest you just don't even pay attention to them. But they are going to impact you. Why? You've got a different brain. Why is that? You're autistic. What does that mean? You experience the world differently. Okay, cool. So the fact of the matter is, like, an autistic person could do a reaction video on another piece of content from another autistic content creator and impact their mental health negatively. Why is that? Because again, it's an autistic person here. Oh, but they're a content creator, Orion. They've just got to take it. No, they don't. You don't just get to treat people badly because that's how it's always been or that's just what we think is supposed to happen. No. People are treated on a case-by-case individual basis. Everyone should be treated with kindness. That's clearly not the case on YouTube with reaction videos. So we can go ahead and park the kindness bullshit argument. But the factual argument is you want to start impacting the mental health of medically diagnosed disabled people, you're going to run into some trouble, champ. I don't care if you're autistic or not, neurodivergent or not. If you're going to make reaction videos and use other neurodivergent content creators and their content, which they made, which they created, before you hit that upload button, you sure as hell better make sure that you've gone through that checklist. Refer to the rest of this video. You should know how to rewind and fast forward videos. Isn't that all you do? I should probably chime in at this point and say that, yes, this seems like me in the big part of the screen, me down there. It seems like the result of a lifetime of being bullied, being rejected, treated badly. So whilst it might seem like I'm getting a little bit hot under the collar, maybe even a bit aggressive, I'm not. It's just me being a defensive, autistic person. And frankly, I'm actually quite liking it. I'm enjoying this very much. I'm going to help you use these tips. Limit the length of the clip used. Avoid long, uninterrupted clips. So you want to have moments. Find short moments. And then, we'll get to end then in a second, because that's the commentary. So rather than showing like 3 minutes, when you know there's a 10-second bit that's really what you want to talk about, just go straight to the moment. This is done a lot by really great content creators, right? They might go, watch this from last night's debate, right? And it's a 10-second clip, and then they say something. It's not, here's the first 5 minutes. Let me tell you, for every small, sharp bit of someone else's content you steal and use, you sure as hell better provide some bloody substantial commentary, analysis, added value. You better be a goddamn transformer, my friend. You better be transforming the shit out of that content. I mean, if you can't do a bumblebee on their ass, you better turn off the recording. I picked it up in law school. If you want to answer a question and you think you know the answer, write that down and then write the word because. And your brain will be triggered to work. So this is my answer because, and your brain will be triggered to explain it. What's the theme? What's your contention? What's your experience? Why does this resonate with you? Why doesn't this resonate with you? Why do you agree or disagree? Because. Why? See, that depth is what helps you. You need to do strategic pausing. Do you know what I'm talking about? So you're pausing the clips after a small moment in regular intervals and you're providing your comments, your commentary, your value. You're breaking up that original content, crediting the original content creator. Okay, so you might say them, do you? I don't know. Do you? Okay. Well, you should also include links to the video and the channel in the description. So when you say, I'm reacting to blah or looking at blah, let's see their name, their channel name up on the screen so people can decide for themselves. So it's not just about mentioning the creator. You have to acknowledge their work within the video itself in a more official way. Put it on the screen, put it up a couple of times, make sure all the links are there, make sure people can choose for themselves. They can make their own decisions. What about considering the ethical relationships with the original creators? This has got nothing to do with anything legal. I'm saying, do you consider relationships with original creators when this happens? Now, you might not have judged from this video, but it doesn't have a great impact on my mental health or a good result to me when people do this to people I know or to me. Like, there's no, you're not considering a relationship with me or the people I know by just doing it without even telling me or not giving me any kind of idea of what's happening or any kind of idea of response or, that's something no one cares about. But in an autistic community, in the neurodivergent community, we have no community but this community. We've been rejected and bullied and, cast aside our whole life. So you would expect in this instance, it would be an ethical decision that you would consider the relationships of the broader community you're a part of before doing any of this kind of stuff. You really have to do this in at least some sort of collaborative way. Can you imagine if other content creators considered the effect on relationships of other content creators before they did this type of stuff? Given that autistic people tend to be really strong on justice, like right and wrong, standing up for those that treat us badly, right? Against being wronged and bullied. And I find it frankly kind of astounding that there are actually other autistic people, other autistic or neurodivergent content creators that actually think that reacting to other autistic people's content is even right. Like, honestly, don't you think that's strange? How did it not occur to them, being so strongly geared towards right and wrong and their experiences in life? I find just absolutely perplexing. So what I mean is, if I just said as a general argument, hey, taking someone else's content and using it for your own, is that right or wrong? I reckon a lot of autistic people would say, oh, that doesn't seem very right to me. That's all I'm saying. Obviously, you want to avoid negative commentary. Now, why is that with autistic people? Autistic people, rejection-sensitive dysphoria, autistic people have grown up being ostracized, rejected, cast out. You're wrong, you're broken, you're bad, you make me feel uncomfortable, you're different, I don't like you, go away. Now, can you imagine an autistic or neurodivergent content creator doing a reaction video on another neurodivergent content creator's original content? And can you imagine on any planet where the original content creator wouldn't in some way feel like they were being targeted? Do you honestly think an autistic person who's been born into the world they've been born into wouldn't think merely by someone else reacting to their content that they are being anything but targeted? Like, you don't. And also, virtually everything sounds negative to autistic people when it comes to feedback, because that's all we ever got. So even if you were trying to be nice, it's probably going to come across negative or an attack. I mean, seriously, you could say, hey, Orion, I watched your video yesterday and before you've even finished the next line, I already think that you are now about to launch a massive and profound attack on me and my family and my ancestors before you even got to finish the sentence. Do you see what I'm saying here? So, you can go, oh, yeah, but that's how you do it. No, that's not how you do it. You need to be mindful of how you actually present your reaction, review, whatever. I'm telling you, any commentary comes across negative, and negative commentary on autistic people can feel so harsh, so brutal, so life-changingly bad, so targeted, so attacked. That's all we get from it. And it wouldn't matter if you spent the next 5 minutes saying how great we were. It wouldn't matter, because up until that point, all I felt was, are you attacking me? That is critical. You need to avoid damaging relationships and creating content that's going to make the other autistic person or an autistic person feel like they're being targeted or attacked. If you're an autistic person or a neurodivergent content creator that has created a reaction video that has impacted another neurodivergent content creator in a way that is anything but positive, how did you not know that would be the result? So then what was the intention? Why would you do that to a person that can relate to you more than most other people on the planet? That doesn't make any sense to me, but it's done. So the only other thing I guess I could say is, look at how you edit it and how you package it. People like to do the picture-in-picture layout. You're on a screen alongside blah, blah, blah. I think it has to be even more nuanced than that, because to me that almost looks like I'm going to watch a dude watch a show, right? It has to be like I'm watching your video and you're cutting to other videos, but it's still your video that I'm watching. So there's these clips, but it's your video. Not I'm watching a guy in a box watch a video. For me, the entire point of this video is to remind the world that autistic people have a medically diagnosed disability. We experience the world differently. Yes, we are creating content, but we are creating content in a factual, logical, educational, life experience context to help others. If you think somehow you can get that video and do things to it, to either just milk it, use it, or do things to it, use it as fodder to start some whole new agenda or content that doesn't continue in the same vein as what that video is trying to do, help people, then I think you've forgotten who you are, where you are, and how people should be treated. It's really important. We have to be mindful of the content creators who put in the effort to make the work, but neurodivergent content creators who have so many other challenges and factors to take into consideration on a daily basis, who somehow have been able to create original content for a platform. Anyway, I just want to be clear. I've tried to give a roadmap of how it could be done, but I think in my experience, it hasn't been done well to date. If I could go on my experience of how it made me feel seeing other autistic content creators have their content put into reaction videos, I would say most of the time it made me feel very defensive, very angry, very upset for them, right? That was my reaction was never, oh, how nice is that? That's so welcoming. That's so supportive. How good is our community? This is a personal decision. If you choose to create a channel, which is basically you just ripping off other people's original content and somehow reacting to it, and that's cool, and that's what you think is cool, no worries. That's your choice. That's your choice. But if you're going to do it, you're going to have to start doing it much better than it's being done currently. If you give even the slightest little care of your fellow neurodivergent content creators. React to that, mother... Whoa. Okay, right. Are we still on the air? Got that just in time. Apologies. Okay, I did not see that coming, and that's me. So let's leave it there, my friends.